What is up, YouTube? Today we're going to be going over a really good defense you can be using to shut down crossers. A lot of high-low reads are how everybody likes to play, especially over the middle of the field. Now, we are in the Kansas City Chiefs defense playbook. We're using the Packers. They have fast DBs. We're going to get to nickel 3-5. This is nothing new. Be sure, although, that you are subbing all your linebackers out. Get rid of them and put safeties in there instead. So we're going to be using the play called cover 3 double buzz, or 3 double buzz. It's a cover 3 shell, but the two safeties, the two high safeties, it looks like a cover 2 almost, are going to be dropping down into hook zones. So we're going to go cover 3 double buzz. Now, important note, we have our curl flats set to 25. Now, this is just kind of a standard thing I like to do at the beginning of a game if I'm going to run this defense. If I'm running a cover 2, I'll set my clouds to 30, and then I like to cross man out of that. Of course, throughout the game, as the game changes and the course changes, you'll want to go ahead and just adjust that as either A, they drive down the field and get closer to the red zone, or you get a better feel for what they like to do as far as depth of crossers, if they like slants, drags, etc. So now we're going to go ahead and get into a trips tight end. This is a Los Angeles Chargers, Las Vegas Raiders. They both have PA shot post, and that's what we're going to be discussing today, and how you can use double flats, or essentially a Mabel, to shut this down. Now, in this adjustment, I did not touch my flats. My flats are set to default. That's going to be key when you want to use your curl flats and you want to adjust out of this defense to have your curl flats run a certain depth. How everybody likes to run this is streak their tight end, drag B, and they'll sometimes motion him over, sometimes they'll leave him here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to create a Mabel on one side of the field to start with. We've got a crossing route that's going to run about 25-30 yards, but we've got it set to 25. Again, in game, you can adjust. Remember, we did not touch our flats. It's set to default. So hard flat's going to play at the line of scrimmage. This curl flat's set to 25. So we're going to go ahead and you can either click on, or from wherever you're at, you can go ahead and double tap Y, A, right on the D-pad, or right on the left stick, and quick adjust him into a curl flat. Now that curl flat is set to 25. It will not come down like it usually would, so be aware of that. Now, as far as our user, there's two people we can use her here. We can either use her Green, or we can use her Darnell Savage. If we're going to use her Darnell Savage and they have a mobile QB like Lamar Jackson, it's going to be best to put X into a spy. Spies really underrated for taking away drags, especially if they motion over a person. If they throw it too early, it's a pick, because a spy is essentially a guy in coverage while he is still focusing on the QB. So motion this guy over. This is just a really simple way I like to run this play. It's really nothing all super complicated. We'll use a middle field, user. And you can see right there, I'm glad this glitch happened. This glitch is random, okay? We're going to go an instant replay real fast and explain what exactly is going on right here. I don't know what causes it. I've tried so many different things, but I want you to pay attention to Adrian Amos right here, what he does. And this is why it's extremely important to use her. Always use her. I don't know what's going on. I think it's a little bit of a fluke, if I'm being honest. But notice he matches with this drag. We put him into a curl flat. Okay, so you have to be careful about that. Read and react. Sometimes he'll do this, sometimes he won't. You never know what he's going to do. So this is where a user is going to be important, because you see right there, he matches for some stupid reason. EA Sports is in the game, but because our user's right there, we're going to be able to make a play on that ball anyways. So I don't know what causes that. I've tried like 5 different ways, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. We'll do the same route combo, see if it does the same thing again. B on a drag, A on a streak. This route combination has never ever done this before. And I will say this, if you match by speed, by overall, it still does it occasionally. There will be times he won't match. There will be times he will match. So we'll motion Harmon over. We'll see what he does. And snap the ball. And you can see that time, the curl flat, for whatever reason, decides to stay with him. So let's go ahead and shade down. Let's go ahead and try this again. We'll shade down. A, we'll go ahead and Mabel one side of the field. Again, just user, okay? Be careful about what the curl flat's going to do. We'll see if he does it right here. If not, you guys kind of get the idea behind it. It's so random and inconsistent. You don't know what's going to happen. Snap the ball. This time I feel like he is. No. See, look. And you can see right there, we take play completely away. That time he doesn't match. I don't know. Maybe if you guys know in the comment section, you can explain something I'm missing. but this is going to be a very effective way to take away crossers and posts. Now, one other play I want to show you guys is mesh post. And we're going to go ahead and enable both sides of the field. So what we're going to do right here, we're going to go ahead and take Savage and Amos and put them into curl flats, and we're going to user green. So we're going to go ahead and enable both sides or double both sides. So we've got hard flats to take away drags. We've got a hard flat on this side to take away any kind of check down. Our biggest responsibility out of mesh post is this running back. You got to take away the running back because he will get open. So we'll snap the ball. We're going to user. And you can see right there. Of course, they can hit that post route, but I'm going to show you guys one simple adjustment you can do to take away that post route and not have to worry about the running back. So again, same thing. I like to press out a bunch. That's one thing I forgot to mention. And then take these guys, Mabel both of them. And then you can go ahead and take X, man them up to the running back. No longer have to worry about the running back. You're free to use anything in the deep middle part of the field. That is your number one responsibility, aka the post route, until he gets into the curl flats zone, or in this case, it would be the deep third. So we'll snap the ball, user. You can see right there, of course, they have the drag, but eventually you could pass that off into the hard flat and get back deep. So there are going to be some things open, and this is where you have to be careful about using this particular kind of adjustment. You guys notice at the point of the middle of the field, there is nobody guarding that spot. So when we're going to be utilizing this particular adjustment, we're not going to be spamming this every single down, because eventually a good player will pick up on that. And then they're going to go ahead and start sending posts in the middle, drags, slants, ins, etc. to really expose the soft spot, which would now be the middle of the field. And a user this year, you cannot guard everything. So for example, if we were to run this play, shade down, put these guys both into curl flats, and let's just man this guy up again. We're going to try our best to guard all three different routes. So we guard, but look at that. We cannot get back this year to be able to make a play on that ball. With change of direction and speed being a big factor, especially in MUT, you will not be able to make a play. So if you're going to be using this adjustment, use it sparingly. Use it when they are hitting you with lots of crossers and lots of posts, being sure that you don't overdo the Mabel on both sides of the field, because as you guys see, it becomes much more difficult for us to be able to defend it. Often people aren't going to run double crossers unless they anticipate you in being in a man defense, in which case then you could probably go ahead and put a Mabel out there. But other than that, just use this sparingly. It's a pretty good adjustment if you're running against people that like to run corners and posts, or corners especially to one side of the field with a post on the back side, because there's going to be nothing open whatsoever, especially if they like to run kind of a flood. If they run corner strike, example for their slot receiver or their outside receiver, I believe. No, their slot receiver running streak, outside receiver running a corner, and their tight end running a flat. There's not going to be anything open, even if they drag or dig their backside wide receiver. That's another really simple way to be able to use corner strike. So pretty simple things you can be utilizing. Again, I can't emphasize this enough. You've got to be careful about it, because any good player will recognize that you're double flatting both sides of the field and then start tearing you up in the middle. So if you're getting torn up in the middle, maybe drop one of those flat zones off and leave a hook curl or two in there instead. So if you're going to go ahead and Mabel, then you can go ahead and do something like this. But of course, if you're going to do that, well, you're going to give up the running back from the vertical route. Otherwise, you could just go ahead and take him, put him into, man him up to the running back, and then take care of it. But there's always going to be some sort of weakness to running this kind of aggressive defense, because you're always going to be giving something up in the middle of the field by taking away the hook curl and dropping them into some sort of flat zone. So be careful with this. It's a great way to take away crossers, corners, and posts. You just got to be sparing with it and conservative and use it when you need it. But it's a fantastic way to throw your opponents off guard, get them thinking, hey, he's leaving the crosser wide open. You can go ahead and Mabel that one side of the field, or hey, they're hitting the post from the middle. Maybe drop the Mabel off and start covering the middle. So that's where it becomes more of a game of chess. So again, be careful with this, sparing with it. If they're hitting a crosser's post, lock them up. So until next time, guys, get into the lab. This has been T-Meister. See ya.